Right now, I'd like to invite our honored hero, Sam, up to the stage to share her story with us.
I'm gonna be a big deal, be a big shot. Don't think too small, don't put me in a box. Tell me, just sit back and watch. Make them stop, try to stay loose.
Hello everyone, my name is Samantha Wilkerson and I am a blood cancer survivor. And thank you. And I am here to tell you guys a little bit about my story and how the LLS has personally impacted me. So in 2023, my senior year of high school, I was super sick with the flu, bad enough to where we had to go to the doctor, like the urgent care, nothing like too serious. And they checked for bronchitis via x-ray, and by luck, the doctor noted an abnormal aortic arch in the back of my chest. Obviously, we didn't really know what that meant, but it wasn't really good. I was tested for blood cancer, and I was sent in for an echocardiogram. And around this time, I began to develop movable lumps in my neck, and I was recommended for a CAT scan in mid-January. And unfortunately, on January 18th, 2023, a day I remember better than my own birthday, the CAT scan showed a softball-sized tumor in my chest directly behind my heart, with a kiwi-sized tumor that had actually misplaced my jugular vein. And a notice that I possibly had cancer was sent to my parents hours later, and I cannot overstate how horrified we were. We weren't expecting it at all. And my previous tests had actually came back negative for blood cancer, and besides my night sweats, I was virtually asymptomatic, and I was only 17, so we really weren't expecting something like this at all. And I remember that night begging my parents to take me to the ER. Even though logically I knew nothing could be done to immediately remove my cancer, I had no idea where it was in my body specifically. We didn't even know, they hadn't done a biopsy, so we didn't even know what kind of cancer it was. It was just like, you have cancer, you're at home. And I didn't sleep that night at all. I cuddled up with my family on our couch, and that became my home for the next 6 months. Didn't sleep in my own bed once. And the next morning, we walked into Children's Hospital of Colorado, and I was unsure of my prognosis at this point. And I didn't even know what cancer I had. And so after a biopsy, a PET scan, and another CAT scan, I was formally diagnosed with stage 2B lymphatic cancer, specifically Hodgkin's lymphoma. Every chemo session was way harder than the last. I became weaker, and I lost all of my hair. And at first, I could really only focus on the negatives. There was some foreign thing in my chest literally trying to kill me. I had a metal implant in my chest for IVs, and I spent hours at night on the couch researching anything and everything about cancer, from mortality rates to 5-year survival rates and the side effects of chemo. And any form of cancer in Americans under the age of 20 is so rare, there are only 15,000 diagnoses a year, and only 1,000 of these are Hodgkin's. And so I questioned, why did it have to be me? I had my whole life ahead of me, high school senior, I was ready to go to college, and it was just like, bam, And I researched, and as I researched, I realized that although Hodgkin's is rare, and yeah, I technically had advanced stage cancer, it has a 90 to 95% survival rate for teens my age at my stage. Yeah, give that a round of applause. Would you guys have predicted that? Could you predict that cancer at this time in our lives has that high of a cure rate for Hodgkin's? It is incredible. Just 100 years ago, the survival rate was nearly 0. It was a death sentence. Research by organizations like the LLS literally gave me a second chance at life. I am alive today because of the chemotherapy regimen I was put on. And I am now just months away from being 2 years cancer-free, which is And it is a really special hallmark for Hodgkin survivors because after 2 years, my chance of relapse becomes minuscule. And it is not just funding treatment that the LLS has helped me with either, but my college education. I actually received a scholarship from the Leukemia Lymphoma Society, and I'm attending my dream school at UCSD. And it's also thanks to the LLS that I met one of my best friends in college who currently has blood cancer. I drive her to her infusions every week, and it's thanks to the LLS that, I connected with her. So, with all that in mind, facing cancer head on has and continues to make me a better person. I am now a signed model in both Colorado and California, and I proudly show my chemo port and surgery scars. And I want to show children with cancer that they are beautiful no matter what. And I'm so, so proud to be an honored hero for the LLS, and I'm so happy to be able to speak at events such as this one to raise awareness for childhood cancer. And my goal is to one day see a world where pediatric cancer doesn't exist, and I genuinely believe organizations like the LLS is gonna make that happen. So, yeah, thank you.